Thanks for joining me in the fourth and last session here on sort of these leadership challenges that I'm calling leadership trade-offs, where we have to decide if we're going to invest time, money, energy, emotional energy into A or B, but can't do both, have limited time, limited resources, and so on. So the last one I want to talk about is leadership that goes by leading with vision or leading with passion. Both happen and both are essential. And yet there's a trade-off between them on how we lead and whether we can balance that or invest well in each of them when we need to invest in them. So leading with passion is driven by inspiration. We're moved, we're inspired, we feel something, and that is what we call people to. And so we try to get them to understand our heart, our passion for something. We want them to embrace it at the same level, so that they are moved to move. And so our leadership kind of has a feel like that. That versus leadership by vision. Leadership by vision is about destination. It's driven by destination, driven by where are we going, not how do we feel about what we're doing. Now, vision can be inspiring, but it's not primarily driven by that. What gets inspiring with vision is I understand where we're going or what it could look like. This is seeing language for a reason. It's we see something and we try to articulate that and we try to lead in that sense. When we're leading with passion, it's fueled by emotion. Emotional energy is something that can go a lot of different directions. It gets stirred up in us. It can be negative kinds of stuff. In other words, it's shaped by anger, fear, frustration, disappointment, and that kind of stirs us. And sometimes that can drive us to take part in something where there's a passionate kind of leadership. We don't like something that's happened and we're stirred, and that moves us. Versus leadership with vision, instead of being fueled by pure emotion, it's more around the why and the what. It's sort of this clarity question on we have a vision, we're going somewhere, and the clearer it gets, the more compelling it gets, the more likely we are to follow it and be led by that. So when I'm pouring into people from the standpoint of casting vision or helping develop a vision, I'm less relying upon their emotion than I am about their embracing of something. So the sustainable aspect of these on the passion side is we have to keep starting fires. We have to keep kindling the flames of emotion. And I don't mean manipulation, but I mean, if it starts with passion and that's what gets people in the game, that's probably what keeps people in the game. They feel very strongly about something. And if that starts to wane or drift and they feel less strong, they're less likely to be led by emotion. And so we have to keep sort of stoking the fire by telling stories, by giving testimonies, by doing things that get me motivated and seeing, oh, wow. And now I feel it, and I feel the success coming, and I feel the passion for the product or the initiative or the mission or whatever. And so I stay engaged. On the vision side of things, instead of stoking fires, we might say we're painting pictures, painting portraits. Along the way, we keep saying, look at that, see that? That's where we'll be. See that? That's what it looks like when we get there. See that? That's what a transformed life looks like. That's what a new leader looks like. That's what a great transaction looks like for a sale, whatever it is that we're talking about. So one is stoking fires and one is painting pictures to help lead people or to move people. The weakness in leading by passion is that it's kind of volatile. When passion is low, you're in trouble. I mean, if people aren't motivated or they're depressed or they're down and they're not getting on board, they haven't been stirred enough to reconnect, and maybe that gets hard to lead those people. Vision, by contrast, is compelling because of its outcomes and because of what we see about where we're going. Even if it slows down, even if we're not moving as fast as we did initially, but if we're moving and we still have that target in mind and it's clear and it's compelling and we believe in it, it can still sort of pull us along. So we're led more by commitment. That commitment to a vision is what drives us versus that inspiration that comes that evokes passion and emotional connection. So we get people excited about what we're doing, the other, where we're going, and what it looks like when we get there. Both are needed. There's times to focus on vision and to give up a little bit of the hype and focus more on the clarity. Other times we have to take resources from this for a season or a bit, or energy and put it in storytelling and inspiration and raising people's energy level again. Make those trade-offs wisely. Make all of these trade-offs wisely. And I hope as a leader you learn to say, you know what, I understand each of these decisions has some consequences, not necessarily all bad, just the fact that I can't do both all the time. When will you do which one, and how much time and energy will you invest in them? That's your decision and your team's decision to make.